Chief? Is that you?
You're safe now.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we got some amazing campaign gameplay and basically an explanation on what the Halo Infinite campaign is going to be like, what sort of stuff we're going to be able to do, an overview of things like the map, things like boss fights, a little more of an insight and detail into how Cortana is going to play a role in the campaign, and also how the weapon is going to play a role in the campaign also. It also goes into detail on how we can call vehicles into the map. You can go to these different FOBs that you've captured and took hold of, and you can call in different weapon drops from Banshees to Scorpions to Warhogs to Mongooses to anything that you want to, and it just looks so sick. In this video, I wanted to revisit the trailer and go into a little bit more detail around some of the things that we may have missed, some things that maybe linked to previous games, and some of the really cool things that just blow me away. So I want to go into that in today's video, guys. Drop a like if you do go ahead and enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are brand new, and let's get into it. Okay, so starting off straight away within the first 5 seconds of the trailer, we've of course got old Cortana in the palm of Master Chief's hand. Now, what are the differences with Cortana in Halo Infinite compared to the likes of Halo 5, Halo 4, etc.? Well, it has a huge combat evolved art style. Now, I'm going to put a picture on screen right now of the Halo 5 Cortana versus the Halo Combat Evolved Cortana. Bro, the colours are what the differences. Combat Evolved Cortana was always purple. Halo 5's Cortana was blue. Now that obviously there are technically two Cortanas, one being the original and one being the weapon, they have to try and get the players to tell the difference between the two, which means they've used the model from Halo 5 for the original Cortana, who is now purple, and the blue model, which is like the offensive Cortana that's used to try and track down the original, is now blue. So again, just to determine and show that straight away, because for me that was a really cool touch. Not to mention the emotional storytelling which is coming back in Halo Infinite. I mean, we haven't really had such an emotional storytelling in a long time. I mean, in terms of Halo 5, there wasn't really this sense of humanity being on the back foot, and that was the beauty of the first, I would say, 5 games. Obviously we had from Halo Combat Evolved all the way to Halo Reach when that came out. It's just again sparking that emotional connection that we have to the game, to the Master Chief, to Cortana, and of course to the Marines. And yeah, I think they've done a really good job capturing that at the start of this trailer. One of my favorite parts as well of this trailer, which is something that I've wanted so bad to come back, and we haven't really had this since like the Bungie days of Halo. They've tried to add it into Halo 4 and Halo 5, but it was a little bit forced, and that's comedic value. There is so much comedic value in this trailer, and something that can just make you laugh, something that makes you smile when you hear about how cheeky the soldiers and the different characters are, and just the personalities of these characters as well.
What's down there?
A weapon.
A weapon? How many guns do you need?
Weapon. It's been 6 months. Where have you been?
Is everyone trying to kill you?
It kind of seems like it.
And again, this is fleshed out within the first 40 seconds of the trailer. Obviously, this is just one little segment, and I'm going to play a couple of others in the background. And my favorite one being the one that I showed you at the start of the video, where the where the chief saves the Marines. He goes, "You're safe now." No more than 3 seconds later, drives them straight off a cliff. Like, it's just, it shows you what you can do in these different situations, and it's your choice. It's completely open world, and yeah, I really love that. My next detail goes into the way the world is going to play, the way that we look at the world and the way we can traverse around the world. And for me, this has been classed as an open world game, so you can tackle mission by mission, do different objectives, activate these missions to play them, or you can just explore the map. You can take different strongholds or FOBs. You can also try and fight bosses along the way. You can do side missions, and you can just explore the world to find collectibles. This for me is so cool. It's something that I've never really imagined being in a Halo before, but having it here as well, I kind of feel a bit spoiled, really. And just looking at some of these trailers and some of the cinematics they've taken of some of the skybox and the sandbox, bro, it looks really cool. Like, this game definitely benefited from the extra year they had in development, and I'm super glad that they did that. I mean, even on the start of the game as well, and we've seen the comparison, which I'll put on screen right now, we can see this game really benefited from its 1-year delay. Really, really happy by that. And for me, this game itself, it looks great. It's going to be smooth. It's going to feel great. A bit gutted about the, obviously, co-op campaign not coming at launch along with Forge, etc. But for the extra year we've had in development for polishing and things along those lines, making things just look better, really, really happy about that. So going into what you'll be doing when you first jump into Halo, of course, we've seen the reveal trailer whereby the Chief is essentially saved, brought onto a Pelican, and revived and revitalized. And we can see, of course, that he has the chip in his hand without Cortana in, so there's no AI in that chip. Again, after that, what happens? The ship goes into some form of lockdown because of an EMP blast. The Chief tracks down that EMP blast, as we've seen at the end of the trailer. And then from that, of course, that's where the story will begin. On the back of that, it goes into the detail and mentions within this trailer that the first mission for Chief is to try and track down and obtain the Cortana model called the Weapon, which is the offensive Cortana model, which was developed by Dr. Halsey to track down Cortana.
His first mission is to retrieve a new AI, codenamed the Weapon.
It's been 6 months. Where have you been?
Just funny. The personality that this Cortana model has is just amazing. I really love it. And for me, it plays a role very, very similar to a player that's never played Halo in the past. The reason why I say this is because towards the end of the game, it mentions something about not knowing why she's been created to track down this Cortana and essentially asking what she has done.
I was created to lock down Cortana, but I don't know why. What did she do that was so wrong?
This is like the people which have never played Halo before playing this campaign that don't know anything about this previous Cortana, who are essentially thinking the exact same thing. This then means the story can be expanded upon and more details around that can be given to the player. The people that already know this information can also have a refresher on that. But yeah, it's just a really cool touch, and I love the way that this Cortana essentially plays the player that's never played this before, that's never played Halo before, doesn't know anything about the lore of Halo. So this Cortana is essentially portraying them. And yeah, I think that's a really cool touch. There's also a part in the trailer where we actually see Cortana. And this is the original Cortana, again, in the purple color. And she looks to be walking around looking at some form of structure. Again, we don't know what this structure is. We haven't had it confirmed just yet. And yes, it does actually show that, of course, Cortana is going to be in this game. It was also confirmed in this trailer that this game will follow on directly from Halo 5 as well. So there will be a lot of references to that storyline in there too. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to see how this does progress. My next point goes on to things like strongholds and different points of interest. Now, I know we've spoken a bit about strongholds and FOBs in the earlier on in the video, but I wanted to reiterate it and go along with it because there is a lot more to this. So it goes on to say in the trailer that you can essentially, as we mentioned earlier, find different strongholds, different places of interest which have been overtaken by the Banished. But that isn't all that we find on the map. As we can see on this screen right now, we can see that there's a complete overview of the entire Halo map that we can go around, we can explore, and it's essentially completely open world. In the bottom left of the screen, you can see different collectibles. Now, these collectibles can be obtained by actually taking hold of these strongholds and things along those lines. So expanding into this and going into a bit more detail, on screen in the trailer you can see that Cortana is speaking to the Chief about this stronghold in front of them, and when you do go ahead and look at it, you can see on the screen there is a very, very brief moment where it tells you the rewards you get for this taking hold of this stronghold. Now this of course lines up with the icons which are in the overall map of the Halo. Now what does this mean? Well, it could mean a couple of different things. The first one could be armor upgrades. Now, we know we do have armor upgrades in this and different abilities, so whether they will contribute towards that, I don't know. But again, we can see as well, again, which is a screenshot on screen, that we do have different abilities or different things that you can upgrade up to different tiers. You, of course, have tier 1 ability, which can then be upgraded and enhanced, I think, all the way up to tier 4 or 5, so that's really, really cool. Yeah, really happy about that. But how do we earn these other things, and what do they do? Again, there's a bit of a mystery to us by now. There are different icons, so we have the skull icons. We, of course, have different ones that we've seen on the screen when taking hold of these strongholds. So some of them may be objective-based, some of them may be skulls, so things that you have to find along the map. But again, it's good to take into account because, again, if we take hold of these strongholds, we get these different points and objectives, which maybe we can spend on different things. Again, not just armor ability or upgrades. We can maybe also spend them on different weapons. Maybe we also have to essentially use this as a currency to bring new vehicles into the map like we've seen earlier on. Again, this is all theory from me. I don't really know. I'm just putting suggestions out there, but I'd love to hear what you guys think down below of all this information though, because again, there's a lot to digest. Also in the trailer, we could see that there are camps whereby soldiers are strung up to some form of like a fusion coil in the middle, and they are essentially handcuffed behind the back, and they're being captured by the Banished and the Covenant. We've seen in the trailer from June that this was again something that we spotted very far into the distance. We didn't really know what it was really, but now we know that this is some form of stronghold or camp which the Banished have captured these humans to try and interrogate them and get more information from. So yeah, really, really cool. You can find these or stumble across them, and you can take them out how you like by destroying the fusion coil in the middle, and it will then allow the Marines to be able to be set free. So it is cool. Again, there'll be different tiers or ranks of brutes that are patrolling these different camps as well. So again, taking them out in whichever order that you feel the need, it may play a part in it as well. But again, really, really cool. I just think this is so sick. Really, really excited to be able to play this and find out where these camps are and take these strongholds as well. I just hope it doesn't become too repetitive, and that's one of my biggest problems here as well. I mean, I don't want to have to go and retake the same stronghold 6 times because the Banished take it back. I think it's a good replay value thing to have the Banished try and take or overrun the stronghold again. I think it would help and benefit the replay value of the game. I think if you just took one stronghold and then that is just there forever, I think it could be good to have like a fast travel thing, but I feel like it'll always keep you on your toes to maybe prevent you from doing that next mission because you've got to go back and do that stronghold. My only issue with this, of course, is for it to be very tedious. I don't want it to be continuously taken back by the Banished. I'd like it to be a very, very rare thing for it to happen, which I think would be really cool. But again, something that it's not been confirmed, but a good suggestion. And again, very quickly as well, the implementation of boss fights. We touched on it a little bit earlier on in the video, but again, it was confirmed in this as well, with 2 bosses that we will potentially, or we will be able to fight in Halo. Whether there's something that we have to progress the campaign to find and then fight, or whether it's something we can just stumble upon and fight at any given time. There is benefits of leaving this one character till the end so that their story is more fleshed out, or whether it doesn't really matter and you can kind of take on whatever you want at any given time. Again, it's interesting to note. I don't know how we're going to be able to tackle or play these boss fights out, but in this mission here, it looks like this is part of the story. And again, I don't know whether this is because the chief has entered this boss fight himself separate to the story, or whether this is part of the story and you also get boss fights within the story. Again, I don't really know how that works. We haven't had that confirmed, but from the trailer, it's just something that I can think of. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you think about that as well. Going on to another thing as well within the trailer, which is around a new faction. And this is really apparent towards around the 5-minute mark of the trailer. It looks like there's a new enemy type called the Skimmers, who are very similar to the Buggers from the previous games. Now, these don't have wings, they don't fly like the Buggers, these are different. It looks as though they're using some form of energy to be able to fly. They're not Prometheans, they're not Covenant, they're not the Banished, they're not the Flood, obviously. But yeah, there look to be a new faction coming to Halo Infinite, which is really interesting. And of course, there looks to be also a new sort of leader of this new faction, who is called the Harbinger. And of course, at the end of the trailer, we got a little bit of a teaser from the main villain within Halo Infinite, which is again the leader of the Banished. So again, yeah, he looks a lot better than what he did a year ago, but it was also confirmed that this was not in engine, and it was again like a rendered picture or video, something like that. So this is not what it would look like within engine. So again, don't get your hopes up too much. But again, it's just still a really cool thing to see. So in summary, how am I feeling about this trailer? How do I feel about Halo Infinite? And am I excited? Yes. I am really excited for this game. I think it looks amazing. I think that the extra year delay has really done the game well. I think the developers are also really proud of what they've made. I also think that the community, every feedback I've heard about this is nothing but positivity. This, for me, it feels like the game that we've always wanted. Again, there are issues with delays on a couple of different parts of the game, such as Forge co-op campaign, but for me that's just a back thing. Like, if it means that we're going to have a campaign that's this polished, then look, it's a bit of a, it's not ideal to have those things not with the game at launch, of course, but if it means we're going to have a better product when we play it, I'm okay with that, really. I'm fine with that. I'm fine to play it myself and then to play with friends later down the line. I think this is going to be an absolutely insane campaign. I cannot wait to see where they go with it. And yeah, I think that it's just to have an insane replay value. It's going to have amazing replay value. And guys, let me know down below what you think, guys. Are really interested to know. Drop a like on today's video. It'd be much appreciated. And subscribe if you are brand new. Make sure you ring that notification bell as well to stay up to date when a video does go live. We cover everything from Halo to Battlefield to Call of Duty Vanguard. And I really can't wait for this game and the others to come as well. Guys, enjoy. Have a great rest of your day. Let me know what you think down below. We'll see you in the next one.